Wizards often live in tower, but I wasn't sure why, so I googled wizard tower and you won't believe my results. They were Minecraft builds. I'm not sure why. So after a minute, I discovered that it's probably because of Lord of the Rings, where the towers acted as a headquarters for Sauron and the longer Sauron-like name. Now, I've completed the bare minimum research, so let's engage in speculation on what a tower for a wizard actually looks like. I checked Phandalin, the D&D starter set module, which has an abandoned tower for reference. And it said the tower was like one giant room all the way up, but I just feel like that isn't a human way to arrange stuff for effectiveness. Like, if the goal is showing off wealth, it's fine, but on a practical level, it's a very lame arrangement to not have floors. The Phandalin Tower was in an abandoned town, destroyed by monsters, so let's assume this is a middle-class-ish practicing wizard, and we got about 40 feet high is what it said in the module to work with. I'm also going to assume these are high ceilings, so we're going to say there are 3 floors, a kind of roof level where the cone is, and just for fun, a basement 2. And we're going to speculate about what's in here. The basement could have holding spaces for magic beings or monsters, but if we lean evil, we could also set up some demonic summoning circles, and anything taboo that a wizard would be concerned about would probably be placed down here behind a trapdoor that you lock, and maybe even a monster that's sliced to guard it. If a wizard has a mimic that they tend to, I would put it there too. Someone goes down there, they get stuck with the mimic. The ground floor is where I think guests would be entertained, so any non-valuable spell books could be used as decoration right here, and just in general it would be designed to present a wizardy area, like not an actual wizardy area, just what guests would picture, so this is what is presented. And on the side we can set up our fun little spiral staircase of fantasy and go to floor 2. This is where I think dungeon aspects would start popping up, simple traps that the wizard could easily avoid or disarm, and any monsters the wizard could designate as a guard. You don't want people touching your magic stuff. This could be the little beholder thingies, constructs, undeads, or some of my personal favorites, random mixes of assorted animals with a magical trait or two. What is important to keep in mind is that whatever is here needs to be controlled or easily navigated by the wizard, but not a thief. Locks are also probably in order. This floor could also contain stuff that needs to be stored, but not the valuables. But if you are searching for something valuable, I hear a great treasure known as the subscribe button can be found below. The 3rd floor is for active experimentation. There's probably a single bookshelf with the most valuable text right here. In addition to assorted magical gems, lots of gold. I'm not sure why, but these are not uncommon spell components. This is why a wizard has to concern himself with security. It's just expensive to be a wizard. I honestly imagine them having like a really high income, but then almost all of that is business expenses, and then they have very little for self-preservation. I'd also throw in one big spell component that isn't common in this room. For example, a clone jar, some rare salts, an ointment that gives you dark vision, maybe a scrying focus, just whatever specifically this wizard was working on. If you're designing this as a dungeon, you can probably picture it. You know, with me, it's probably gonna be some giant bugs he was setting up. This floor is also probably where the wizard is most of the time, or if he was screwing with conjuration, where the monster that killed the wizard is, which means if your party is robbing them, they're gonna have to fight one or the other. Then at the very top, where you get the kind of attic with the curved roof, I imagine the small little loft with a bed, a spellbook, and a bucket for pooping that the wizard has to dump out the window. Thank you for your time. See you next week.